Nobody doubts reports that say among the large economies in the world, India is the fastest growing economy. Over the last few years, India has consistently clocked growth rates of over 6.5% of GDP. But when it comes to per capita income, India is still lagging behind. So many people have expressed doubts whether India has been able to, you know, trickle down the progress achieved by the country. So there are many people who say that poverty has increased in India, but many people point out with the help of proper statistics that the number of poor in India has come down drastically. It all depends on whether you are a supporter of the India government or whether you are an admirer of Prime Minister Narendra Modi or whether you are a political opponent of him. Supporters of Prime Minister Narendra Modi extol him for the wonderful growth of economy. But opponents, political opponents of Prime Minister Narendra Modi blame him and they exaggerate, the poverty in India. But actually the truth is somewhere in between. India, it is true that India has achieved a big growth of GDP. It's also true that the poverty in India has come down significantly. But at the same time, it is true that there is a long way to go, no doubt about that. Why I say so? Recently, newspapers in India published a report which was actually based on a press release of Press Information Bureau of Government of India that cited a report of the World Bank saying that India is among those countries with least economic disparity. Inequality in India is much less. This is what that report said. But those who dismiss that report as fabricated, they say it has wrongly compared consumption index of India with income index of other countries. So they say it is like comparing apples to oranges. So they say that is why India is listed, or they were able to list India among countries with least economic inequality. Again, as I said before, truth may be somewhere in between. Anyway, let us analyze the whole issue and try to find out the truth. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. Right from the onset, let me tell you that I am not an economy expert, but I can understand economy, and I speak as a journalist from the layman's point of view. You need to speak from that point of view also, because you are living in the society and you know what is going around you. So I will use statistics on one hand, and I will compare the statistics and academic reports with what I see around me. So I think this is the right way to come to the truth. As per the newspaper reports, which cited World Bank's report, India's position is among the 5 countries with least economic inequality. India is actually placed 4th in the list. So only 3 countries are above India with lesser economic inequality. So it means there is a very good degree of economic equality in India. It's true, I also think that it is hard to believe that India is among the top 5 countries in the world with economic equality. Definitely, India does not have that level of economic equality. But at the same time, there are other statistics that the report cites. For example, it says the number of poor in India, especially the extremely poor or who you call destitutes, have come down drastically. For example, the number of poor in India, when compared in 2023 when compared to 2011, have decreased by over 17 crores, or that in the Western terms you say it is over 170 million. I believe that is true, because when I look around, I am from Kerala. When I look around, I find that people who are unable to eat thrice a day are, is almost nil. When I look around my village, I look around my home in a metropolitan city, I find that people have enough to eat and drink. This is true. I don't find many people in extreme poverty nowadays. It was not the situation when I was a child. During my childhood, I have seen that many people used to feel severe, hunger. That hunger was there really. Only very few people could afford meat, uh, you know, during those times. Fish, of course, people along the coastal area had fish, but still there was shortage of food grains. There was shortage of fruits and other, nutritious food. That was all there. But nowadays things have changed. When I say about Kerala economy is, driven by remittance. Though there is no industry here, though there is little agriculture practice here, but still people enjoy a very high degree of standard of living because of the remittance. So there may be people who are tempted to say that Kerala is an exception, other parts of the country are feeling different, but I disagree. For example, I check these issues with my friends from other states also, and I find that, for example, in the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu, things have become much better compared to 1 or 2 or 3 decades ago. So earlier, still I remember that crowds of workers from Tamil Nadu used to land in cities like Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram. Early in 2000, I used to find that crowds of migrant workers from Tamil Nadu were seen early morning at Kalur, which is a place in the central town city. But nowadays I don't find many. Nowadays, I think even in Tamil Nadu, wages have risen. In other South Indian states also, wages have considerably risen. And I have been told by some of my friends who live from even northeastern states. For example, one of my friend who is a police sub-inspector in Assam recently told me that when during say 15 or 20 years ago, people who were able to have 3 full meals a day were very few in Assam. Many people used to have only a single meal in a day. A bit more affordable guys, they used to take 2 meals a day. But things have changed. I mean, now things are diametrically opposite there nowadays. So this is what a native of that place said. So things have definitely changed. I think even in Delhi, where you would find a large number of squatters, where there were a large number of slums. Earlier wages were very low, but nowadays you need to pay at least rupees 500 a day if you want to get the services of a housemaid. You should not compare this with the standard of living of Western countries, where you may not find household help, you may not be able to get housemates, but things are different in India still now. But that hunger, which was universal, which was ubiquitous in the country earlier, is not that much prevalent nowadays because of, I think, because of the welfare activities of the union government. I think the present government needs to be given credit, and even the earlier government to a good degree needs to be given credit. For example, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme that ensured a fair amount to each and everyone. So I think if you look at the poverty index, definitely that poverty has come down. So there is no need to dismiss the dismiss figures which claim that 17 crores of people moved out of poverty in India during the last 10 years is true. That is totally true. You cannot deny that. And nowadays, poor people, they get around 35 kilograms of food grains every month at very subsidized rate. And I think such schemes are there. For example, an insurance scheme of rupees 5 lakh of the union government, then other, freebies. Every state is giving now freebies to widows, women. For example, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, every state is giving. There are welfare pensions in many states. So definitely, if you consider the poverty line fixed by the World Bank, that is, one should be able to earn at least $2.15 a day. I'm sure that a majority of workers in India earn much more than not twice, or it is that's over thrice a day. So I don't think the report is totally wrong. But at the same time, when somebody says that the Press Information Bureau of India wrongly compared, the consumption index with income index, that may be true. Because, it is true that even the rich in India don't spend a huge lot of money. There is a tendency in India to save money. So if you look at the consumption of the middle class and the upper middle class, or even the poor people, there may not be much difference, because people spend almost equal amounts. There may be a bit of difference. The food people across the spectrum eats is almost the same. They don't want that much luxury in India. I have seen people from many states. They just, even though they may be a millionaire, even though they may be a billionaire, they will lead a frugal life. They will save the major part of what they earn for their next generation. This is a cultural, this is what Indians inherited from their forefathers. At the same time, you don't know, I agree that those who save like that don't know who is going to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Maybe not even their children or grandchildren. Maybe their great-grandchildren. We don't know. So, but this is the tendency in India. They want only that is bare minimum. Maybe this has something to do with spirituality also. Because there is a thought in India that it is wrong to spend huge money, because that is against the God's will. So poverty is in a way is idealized, because there were even Mahatma Gandhi had popularized that idea. So let me tell you a story. This is a real life story that happened to me. I used to walk even when it was very hot, when I was working in the Middle East. So people from there asked me, Mr. Kumar, you could afford to hire a taxi. Then why are you walking in this very hot sun? But see, that comes from what we practice at home, because we find that it is unnecessary, it's a luxury. Or somebody who spends like that, he will be looked down by the society. So the general tendency of the society is to save. So against that backdrop, if you look at the consumption may be almost, there may not be much difference between even the poor people or the working class and the upper middle class, or the what you call bourgeoisie in India. This is the case. But at the same time, I am sure that India has a long way to go. If you look at the way in which the super rich people India earns, and the increase in income of the ordinary man or the peasant, there is a huge difference. There is no doubt about that. So definitely India needs to work on that. India is a very highly competitive society, and people are unable to find the jobs that they really deserve. That is why people from India, migrate in big numbers to the Western countries, including the US, UK. Then they go to Australia, they go to Africa, they go to Middle East. So I think definitely there is a shortage of opportunities. Job opportunities need to be increased. Still, the manufacturing sector in India cannot be compared with the manufacturing sector in China. If the per capita income of the common man is to increase, the manufacturing sector needs to grow at a much faster pace. So I think these are some of the realities. You cannot dismiss simply that reports on the decreasing inequality of India. But sometimes I think because of the polarized state of politics, people tend to exaggerate. So I think that is wrong. At least when it comes to economy and certain other things, science and technology, exaggeration will not do good for the country. In the same way, diminution also will not do good for the country. We need to have self-confidence. We need to accept or take pride in the progress achieved by the country on certain fronts. It is better to have the middle path, the golden middle path, as Lord Buddha said. Meet you with updates. Till then, goodbye.